Well, you can spend an afternoon on the river, but before you plan to go out kayaking or canoeing, especially for your first time, you'll want to hear this. Brian Wolf from Roads, Rivers, and Trails in Milford and Mark Bersani from Loveland Canoe and Kayak join us in studio this morning. They have some expert tips on how to have fun, but how to stay safe on the water, and they brought a very large visual aid. This is one of our larger visual aids we've ever had in studio. Guys, thanks for coming in, first of all. Summer has officially arrived. The warm weather hasn't really hit us just yet, but it's always fun to get out on the water. What's the first step for somebody who's never jumped into one of these before, maybe hasn't been in a canoe since they went to camp as a kid or something? Where do we start?
Mark, I'll let you.
Well, a great place to start is there's a lot of places in the area that rent kayaks. That's what we do down in downtown Loveland. So you can get your start there with a company that will help get you up a river, make sure that you're prepared with all the things you have. And then if you fall in love with the sport, then the folks at RRT are really good about finding that perfect boat for your journeys. So I think it's always a good idea to start renting, see if you like it.
Yeah.
Go out with a family in a family-friendly section, and then if you find you're passionate about it, there's a great store in downtown Milford that'll help you out with everything you need.
What's the most important thing to know? Because obviously you go out, you have fun, you're having a good time, but even right now, you're ready. You hear time and time again, safety first.
Safety
but
first,
I imagine that's
course.
where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the best resources you're going to have are rental places like Market, Loveland Canoe and Kayak. To understand the river and the river level and how safe it is. We also have resources up on our website. If you go to roadsriversandtrails.com, explore, and local paddling, you can not only find local destinations, but river safety tips to understand river levels and safety. And of course, always wear your life jacket. It's going to be the number one tip.
When you make that sort of transition over from, hey, I do this maybe once a year or twice a year, to I'm going to start getting out all the time, what's some advice you can give people in terms of different places they can go? Because that's one of the great things about our area. There are lots of places to put into the water. Yeah,
absolutely. So there's a lot on the Little Miami River, and that's going to be like one of the top destinations for our area. But we are so fortunate that we're totally surrounded with county and state parks with beautiful lakes. You just don't have to go very far to get in a boat and really enjoy yourself.
Do you like the single person kayak for someone who's just learning, or do you like a double? Do you like somebody going out there together?
You know what, the tandems work great for our families that have young kids, like a 5, 6, 7-year-old, that's their first excursion. They want to get out on the water, want to be close to it, but they need mom and dad to kind of help them through the trip because they're just not ready to paddle the whole thing. We do have some couples that like to paddle in tandems as well, but I always tell people just make sure you get along well, because the tandem is called the divorce boat. If you don't communicate well, you'll know at the end of the trip.
You're gonna know. I like that very much. I mean, I don't like that, but you know what I mean. But it is a great way to spend a day, and it's one of those things where you get out on the water, you bring a cooler with you, you paddle over someplace, have a picnic, that kind of thing,
exactly.
Right? Do you have any other advice or things to check out in terms of spots where you could go like that, spots along the river where you can stop and pull over, if you will, and enjoy yourself for a little while?
So many opportunities like that. And I think the big thing is that it's a very approachable activity too, that anyone could really get in and do this, from rentals to getting your first boat and making it approachable. Super easy. And like I said, the Little Miami River is so popular. It's so beautiful. National Scenic River. We have the bald eagles coming back strong.
Yes.
The health of the river is coming back strong.
Well, and speaking of which, I've got to wrap things up very quickly. You're both part of a big cleanup project on the Little Miami. Very quickly, tell us about that.
Yeah, well, we're both very passionate. Brian's been doing cleanups on the southern section of the river. We've been doing a little bit further up north for many, many years. I like to tell people I've been doing cleanups since Brian was in grade school. But we're both big about taking tires out. For some reason, we have a lot of tires that get dumped into the river.
Yeah, sure.
So Brian and I started talking about let's make this a challenge, because you're doing a great job down there and we're doing a job up here. And so we started talking about making this a challenge, and it's turned into some real fun online stuff. Brian's got a great costume and a production team and makeup artist.
Wait, there's like a mascot for this too?
Oh yeah, he's the Tire King. You know, the Tiger King? He's got the wig.
We take this pretty seriously.
I like that a lot.
We're taking this challenge pretty seriously, and there's going to be one Tire King at the end of this challenge.
I love it.
So we're going to see.
Never bet against the old guy, Bob. Never.
Hey, preach. You're preaching the choir on that one. You're preaching the choir on that one.
And of course, all of this is to benefit. We made this a fundraiser to benefit 2 great organizations. So I'm representing the Little Miami Conservancy.
Excellent.
And so if you can't make it out to a cleanup, you can jump on littlemiami.org and donate to the cause. And Mark is representing Adventure Crew.
Yeah, and we get urban teens into outdoor activities like kayaking. Yes,
sure.
It's a great organization. Paddle Fest is our big fundraiser every year, but we have about 1,000 kids in the program this year. So we got some kids coming out kayaking today, but mountain bike, they hike, they camp. We even have a group that go up to the Boundary Waters too. So it's great. It's getting kids outside that normally wouldn't get that chance.
Love that. We're going to get more information up at local12.com. Guys, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you very much. It's